side of the bed, it feels colder. And I'll be right side till we're older. Too many goodbyes from you, baby. I've been seeing a lot of you lately. You calm me down when I'm crazy, and you me up when I'm lazy. And I always know that there's roots below, and I always know that there's roots below. Every inch that we grew and everything that we do places throughout all the weeds. Every inch, every groove got me. You ain't stole me and I wouldn't want it any other way. No, I don't want nobody else. When I wake up and see your face, got our paths crossing right until the time's up. And if we keep this going, I know it's gonna end up rough. You drew me in without a question that got me like an infection with no cure in hand. And now there's no separation, got me staying up lately. But what's been keeping me in check is knowing you're still radiating. Every inch that we grew and everything that we do places throughout all the weeds. Every inch, every groove got me. Your side of the bed, it feels colder, and I'll be right side till we're older. Too many goodbyes from you, baby. I've been seeing a lot of you lately. Every inch that we grew and everything that we do places throughout all the weeds. Every inch, every groove got me.
Still stuff in my face, but I'm here. We're just gonna turn in today's stream. Got pork chop in my teeth. Into a mukbang. Like, Final Fantasy is the background. It's just gonna be the the ambient noises as I also commit to an ASMR of stuffing my face with food. I think in the stretch of about 10 to 15 minutes, I prepared an entire meal, my entire thermos of tea, which is really me just stuffing various different ingredients from last night's dinner into a big ass bowl and just popping it into the microwave. That's literally what my dinner is right now. I got like butter beans in the bottom, pork chops in the middle, carrots with onions and mushrooms on top, and I just stuck the whole thing in the microwave, and it's like, you know what, about 5 minutes, let's go. Yeah, that's what I did. Oh, it is so delicious, so good. It was my partner, as I still continue to pick food out of my teeth, it was my partner Rafe that made it last night. And let's just say he's an amazing cook. We got the pork chops from the grocery store, but I feel like everything else was pretty much from scratch. It's so good. I've completely demolished the carrots. They're all gone. I think I've got one pork chop. There's 3 pork chops left, and 1 pork chop left to go, and then the butter beans that are all on the bottom, and it's all kind of coming to its own gravy now. So good. But for tonight, turn down the music in my headset. It's kind of loud. Just that. Just that. There we go. I figured since raid is not happening, because we're missing a handful of people, like half the raid right now has got other plans and is busy. They're not able to come, so we didn't even bother. It just felt like there was no point in even doing it at that point. I'm laying you in the alley cat. Oh! I'm playing you with alley cat mixing. Okay. Oh, layering. That took me a minute to realize what you were trying to say. I was like, wait, what? I don't think that's gonna work. But I got you. Yeah, I know the us of Swage and Alley Cat. I've definitely listened to their mixes and watched them stream before. So if we are able to work that out, you know, out in the future and whatnot, I would definitely love to host them. I still want to complete some more tweaking and refining and definitely upgrade the look and feel of the club a lot more. I feel like now that I have, unfortunately, but mandatorily, had to separate the casino out from the club itself, that we have so much more room to work with, and we can incorporate some more ideas and do some more decoration now that they are separate. But at the same time, I feel like they still lack that, you know, that luster, that shine, that whatever you want to call it, that you definitely see in a lot of other clubs. So I'm still working on it. I think the layout, I love the new dance floor space. Yes, me too. I like the new layout. It's so much more camera friendly. We've got more space to work with, especially for, you know, people on the dance floor and getting those G poses, and even just with streaming in general, it is so much more streamer friendly now. So there is that, and I'm happy with it. But I still feel like there's a lot of decoration, a lot of like fine tuning we can do here and there on the walls, or, you know, maybe doing something to kind of spruce up the underside of where the two branches that come off to the side where the stairs finally actually come down to the floor. There's a lot more flourish that can happen there. I'd say are both under the lips where the sofas are would work for the casino. I'm trying to decipher the flow of what you just said. Did you mean to say couches? So are you saying like we should take the sofas that are currently where they are now, move those up into the casino? Because I've also come to realize that there is a new partition, a new floating, what's the word I'm looking for here? Hang on, let me open it up in Final Fantasy. Get add new game plus. There is a new floating floorboard that has lights already built into the bottom of it, which looks amazing. Here it is, the Luminous Wooden Loft. This thing, stick it somewhere. It literally has lights already built into it on the underside. So I'm thinking about taking this. Actually, let me run down there so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm in housing mode, so I run through everything. So instead of having these flat, thin floorboards that currently make up these side halls, I'm thinking about replacing them with this luminous wooden loft. So that way the underside of these walkways are just naturally lit up. And it's all one piece. You don't have to install the light fixtures on them. It only takes up one slot. So that way it has the lighting, it's got the ambiance, the mood that I'm looking for the underside. And I don't have to come up with a bunch of additional decorations like these starlight items, for example, for lighting. Because, of course, as soon as you turn down the lights, like, it gets dark under here. So, I think the underside lighting would be chef kiss. It doesn't really give the upper deck more space. It's actually going to end up taking more space because of how thicker it is. So it's going to be occupying more space between the underside and the upper side. But you know, there's plenty of maneuverability up here, so I don't think that like loss of 6 inches or whatever you want to call it in Eorzean terms is going to be that big of a deal. But if I can replace all of these floorboards, I can then move them from up here. Instead of being off to the side on the wall, I can actually put them on the floor, the dance floor itself. So that way when we have special events, we can change the colors and the design of the floorboards themselves. You know, if we're having Pride Month like we did last month in June, you know, do rainbow colors on the tiles. We can do that. Instead of just going with the innate flooring that's already here. So I think that would work out in the best. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying from earlier now. moving the casino tables onto the undersides. Would that be okay though? I mean, I see what you're talking about, and making proper use of the space. I just feel like that would make the dance floor in general just way too busy. I don't know, maybe I could do something with the walls and work that out. I would have to play around with it. Like, I'm coming up with a few ways to rearrange things in my head and see how that could work out. Because instead of having the blue wall partition here, I could actually, like, remove one. So it can be, like, an indented section for the casino. The only thing I'm worried about is the slots. Because if I do move the casino back down here, one of two things is going to happen. I'm going to have to put the furniture that I took out back into the dining room upstairs, or I'm going to have to block off that entire side of the house, period. Which, of course, will then still be slots that will have to be used because I have to have the wall partitions to block off not just the two doors that go into that room, but that open window in the middle as well. So it's a little bit of a catch-22. Are the slots split between top and lower floors? Yeah, the entire house uses up the same number of slots. Like, you get 400 slots for a large house in its entirety. So it's not like you get X amount for the upper floor, X amount for the middle floor, X amount for the basement. You just get one number for the entire house. Once you hit that number, you've hit that number. So even if I start rearranging stuff upstairs, it's going to affect the slots available anywhere in the house. So numerically, the best way to have this and have at least open spaces to work with and to kind of finagle with is by using that upper room for the casino, because that way I could take out all the furniture that was in there before, just basically delete the dining room and turn it into a casino, because I can use the slots I just freed up for all the casino stuff. You see where it becomes kind of a numbers problem? So if I move the casino back downstairs, I gotta fill that room up with something or something else, and that's extra slots that are now being used. And it can work. It can definitely work. If I can just settle on a way on how I want to light up this space for its function as a casino. Like, I can't use any more spotlights because you can only use 2 spotlights in a household anyways. So it's literally not going to let me put in any more spotlights. So I'm going to have to come up with either some wall lamps or some like stand-up lamps or something to kind of liven up and brighten up the actual casino areas. Like, I may go ahead and move, let's go to housing, furniture. Like this, for example, we may just go ahead and stick it back here. Put it back. See, that works. Okay. You'll have to forgive me. I was also looking on my stream to make sure that something else was not showing up on the screen. We don't use third-party apps. I have no idea what you're talking about. We can put the dead man's chest back over here. Because it does have a little bit of ambient glow to it. We can leave the gold bricks outside. But I'm going to have to get some extra stuff, like some actual lighting or wall lamps, for example. What was it I was thinking about here? Let's see. Let's go to wall-mounted stuff. Like, we got a few iron torches here, so we can grab a couple of these. Put them out like this. Just to get kind of a general idea. And the rest of these are not so much lamps or lighting. Let's see, do I have any stand-up lighting? Like, I may use some of the carbuncle lanterns up here, because they give off a nice, just fluorescent blue light that I like. So we'll pop a couple up here to figure out what to do with later. I love the look and the feeling the fire lighting brings. Oh god, me too. I freaking love the torches. I may sneak these under the table. Hang on. There we go. Kind of be like, oh wait, it's trying to put it on top of the table. How do I fix that? Turn that off. There we go. See, that way you can sneak it under the table, but you still get the lighting effect that comes from it. So that way these like little lit up card pads or whatever these screens are on the actual table itself, it looks like they're actually lit up when you put a carbuncle lamp underneath them. So that's one thing that I can definitely do here. Let me see if I can grab it. No, I got it stuck under there. There we go. So I may do that. I may take like 6 of these carbuncle lanterns, stick each one underneath a different screen to make it look like it's actually glowing and lit up and stuff. Do I have any other lights in here? We have a bunch of crap. If you can't tell. Oh my god. I may use that aquarium for something. Well, we might stick the Levin lamp in here. It may find a home somewhere in this room, maybe. I'm not really seeing any other lights though. I thought we had some of those Il-Meg like flower stand-up lamps somewhere. I could be wrong. Either that or they're being used somewhere else. I don't want to use the jellyfish lamps up here because I'm planning on... Oh, there they are. Here they are. I found them. I found them. See, like, these are really pretty. And they also provide a lot of light. So I may take, like, one of these and stick behind the tables each. What is this music? Oh my god. That was way too sensual. Still got this rug sitting in my... Actually, I still have a lot of furniture sitting in my inventory. Like, I took a bunch of stuff off the bar because I was about to, like, relocate the bar. So I've got the candles, the cash register. I can actually probably go put the cash register back. Under treasure we can use down here. I was wondering, yeah, I at first when I started like removing stuff and was getting ready to prepare to just yeet everything into storage, I was considering about moving the bar itself to the side wings, but there's not enough room for me to work with there, so I had to leave the bar right where it is. Luckily, thank God, thank the 12, that there is still just enough room between the bar stools and where the wood slat partitions are that any character of any size can easily run back and forth between. So there was just enough room for me to leave them right where they were. Thank the gods. So let's go ahead. I have to turn this back on first. And we're going to turn it back around. That way. And then we're going to grab it. And let me make sure that's in a proper spot so it doesn't get anybody stuck. Oh yeah, that works. Nobody gets stuck. Perfect. So yeah, that's gonna be a bunch of stuff I'm gonna be working on this week. As I try to get numerous things done. God's help me. Jeez, did I turn the lights down too low, or is it just my monitor? I think it's just my monitor. But let me get back to crafting your tail off to make all the gil. It's a process. It is definitely a process. And as far as the reservation fee for the DJs, definitely just let me know what you need and when you'll need it. And we can easily pull that out of the chest. That is not a problem. On selling stuff. I actually just started my my shard and crystal farms back up. Ooh, speaking of which, I need to refresh my retainers. So that way I can start bringing in a steady income for Naka again. Because I had stopped doing that for a while. I need to get better gear for my retainers, is what I really need to do. Shards make bank. I mean, I wouldn't say that they are a quick way to make money, but they are consistent. Even though the price rate for them changes like daily, if not by the hour, they always sell. They will always sell. So even if it's not going for a high amount of gil, you know that you will be able to get something for like a stack of 1,000 shards or crystals or whatever, because you know somebody's gonna buy them. And if you really have the time to put in the effort to play the market, if you can like just pay attention to the different market prices of the shards and the crystals depending on which server has the lowest prices, you can definitely make a huge chunk by buying low and selling high. It requires you to pay attention to the market prices, like, actively and in real time, but it's totally doable. Selling one of the mats that is a pain in the ass to craft and is needed by collectibles. Oh, is that for, like, the, Rowena turn-ins? Totally lost track of what I was trying to do there. New Game Plus. Wait, you can do New Game Plus as an actual hotkey? What? I'm gonna stick New Game Plus right there. That way, from now on, all I gotta do is like Control 3. Let's go. Bam! Did not know you could do that. It's for crafting scripts, but it gives you mega experience. Yeah, I think that's the Rowena collectible turn-ins, right? If I'm not mistaken. Because you got the weekly custom deliveries that you can do, which of course is a huge chunk of experience and scripts that you can get. And then there is the where is it? Am I dumb? Or is this something you have to get from the NPC? That's the Grand Company turn-ins. Oh my god, I forgot how to pull it up. Dang, this may be one of those situations where the only way to pull it up is by actually visiting the retainer for it, or not the retainer, the NPC. I seriously thought you could go to your duty timers and just like open a menu or something, just like you did with custom deliveries. Yeah, because you would go to the collectible. Of course, it's not available in New Game Plus. It won't let me what? I can't suspend New Game Plus while I'm at Razatan. Well... Anywho, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I thought there was a way to open that menu without having to talk to the NPC, but apparently I'm dumb and I don't know where to find it. Timers, Hall and Office, TV Recorder. Would it be under collection? No, it's not under collection. Yeah, I have no idea. Seriously thought there was a way you could just open it from one of your menus, but apparently I am wrong. No, it wouldn't be key items. Duty support? No, that's the trust system. Oh my god. Okay, I give up. Let's do our New Game Plus. Go to the Rising Stones. Naka is scattered-brained, and... I've had brain fog all day long. I don't know why. I'm distracting. Look, no. This is just a typical stream. But I've honestly been like this all day, and all day yesterday too. Like I don't know, I was not feeling well. But if y'all know me, I'm trying to stay in high spirits and get done what needs to be done, and I will never stop. Nom 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 nom. Infilia? I'm on my way. Better be ready. I keep forgetting to turn the game volume on when I start streaming. I wish there was a way I could have like a little warning that's be like, nobody can hear this.
Words cannot well express how glad I am to see you return to us hale and whole. Needless to say, I am most eager to hear your account of that which occurred in Kurthis, assuming you're ready to speak of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. I shall summon the others at once.
I'm gonna end up with mushrooms in my beard at this rate. Moonbria!
Iceheart used her own body as a vessel for a primal soul?
Master Louisoir's writings make no mention of such a possibility. Can we be certain this entity was a primal?
As certain as we can be that good King Mogglemog the 12th was a primal, I should think. Both were ostensibly summoned.
Let's not quibble over definitions. Of more concern is the implication that Iceheart retained her will, even after she was possessed. We are talking about a mortal, wielding the power of a primal.
Yes, sir.
It can't possibly be that easy, can it? There must be some sort of sacrifice required. Or maybe she's just special?
What qualities this woman possesseth, I know not, but full sure am I that she was groomed for this role. Few are privy to the secrets of summoning, and but a single party standeth to profit from their dissemination.
Well, I wouldn't presume to comment on how the lass came to know about summoning, but I will say that what she summoned was a primal. The readings were the same, or near as damn it. Strange as it all sounds, it's really no different from what you've faced before. Then mayhap it is time that we re-examined our previous encounters.
Oh, pack your things, Ida. We're going back to Gridania.
Yes, sir.
About Iceheart's final words to you. Hear, feel, think.
Exactly.
Hydaelyn
Quoted
speaks to
Hydaelyn.
her as well. If Iceheart is blessed with the power of the Echo, she will doubtless have used it to further her goals. Or could it be that it was a revelation granted her by the Echo which first set her on this path? She did say that the Ishgardians were blind to the truth. Do you think she has knowledge of the origins of the Ishgardian-Dravanian War? It would do much to explain her unwavering conviction.
Did not the Lady Iceheart implore thee to seek the Keeper of the Lake? And did she not imply that in so doing thou wouldst come to see with eyes unclouded?
She did.
Midgard-Zoma was a king amongst kings who reigned for centuries on end. But he is dead and his wisdom lost to the ages. Unless the Ishgardians' fears are well-founded. It would seem we have yet another reason to stand watch over the Keeper of the Lake. For a mercy, we are well positioned to do so. Iceheart, Shiva, Ascians, and Midgard-Zoma. I shudder to think how they're all connected.
It's all connected, honey. I'm like 2 seconds away from licking out everything out of the bottom of this bowl. The only thing stopping me is my face won't fit. So good. Papa Limo, I know. Every time. Papa Limo, Moonbrita, even Ida to some degree. I'm just over here like, I miss y'all so much. I can't. Oh my god, I've cried so many times. And we haven't even got to the worst of it yet. My volume is a little unbalanced in my headset. Let me fix this real quick. Watching you eat made me make food too. I'm telling you, I was hungry. Oh, it's so good. My tea may have finally cooled off enough for me to drink it too. When me and Rafe went to the grocery store this past weekend, we went to a different Food Lion than what we usually go to. And, they had the blueberry tea that I have been looking for like the past 3 to 4 weeks. I bought 4 boxes. Or Rafe bought 4 boxes. But anyways, we got 4 boxes. It's so good. You forgot to eat? Yeah, that was kind of me today too, just a little. Oh my god, it's so good. Jesus. Random giggles from... Yeah, he heard me. I mean, to scour the annals for knowledge of Midgard some more, given his great age, I dare say he appears in more than a few. Do you hear that? The commotion outside? Would you see if aught is amiss? She is too engrossed in her curiosity to step outside of her own office to see what all the noise is. Thanks, Minfilia. How are you liking Sage? It, kind of like with all the healers, it has its place. I don't do Sage in Savage, but my co-healer, Gintoki, who does play Sage, oh my dear god, some of the like clutch shields that he is able to get out with Sage is just pivotal to our survival and a lot of the content we've been doing. So from that standpoint, they have their place and they definitely do their job. As a playstyle though, they remind me a lot of Astrologian, where, you know, of course the primary purpose of a Sage is to be a shield healer, not a regen healer, but on the same footnote that it's very busy, there's a lot of button pushing, it's the same aspect with Astrologian. Astrologian is another regen healer, but there is a lot of button pushing that goes on with Astrologian, and I feel like that's the same thing with the Sage. It is the button pusher scholar, is what the Sage just turns out to be.
Dude, Sage doesn't push buttons near as much as Astrologian does.
No, because they don't have a card system to worry about, but they have so many OGCDs.
Astrologian is, I mean, it's like Gunbreaker as a tank. It is mashing and having to keep track of exactly where your buffs are and how, dude, people who are like solid on Astrologian and also have that Gunbreaker ability, just, they exist on a different plane. They're 5 seconds. Whoa. Oh.
Yeah, because you do have to know what you're doing. Phoenix says hi. Phoenix.
Oh, hi.
Roel has escaped. Oh yeah, that's right. We were going after the Ivy lady, who's not really going to be Ivy. Anyways. It happened shortly after the Immortal Flames took her into custody. She had been placed in a dungeon cell ahead of her coming trial, but apparently the accommodation was not to her liking. The turnkey was found slain along with 2 guards. 'Tis plain she received inside help. Citizens report seeing Roel quitting the city via the Gate of Nald with a bloodied spear in her hand. She makes for Castrum Meridium, and I'm certain of it. With her fate in Eorzea as good as sealed, what recourse has she but to flee to her imperial masters? Even as we speak, Captain Ilbert and the First are hot upon Roel's heels. Pray make haste to Camp Blue Fog. I've never been able to say that correct the first time around. And join the hunt. Your narration skills make me jealous. What? I don't even consider myself to be that good. I mean, granted, I feel like after you've read books and bedtime stories to 2 children for like over a decade, you just kind of develop the skill for it after a while. Oh wait, I gotta teleport. Ha ha ha. I know what I'm doing. I read so many Cat in the Hat books for my little brother when he was younger. So many.
My thanks for coming, Scion. I have spoken with the soldiers here. They say that Roel walked through the camp not a bell ago. Aye, she walked right through. You did not mishear. We have Raban's decision to keep the matter secret to thank for that. Bad for morale, he said. As a result, not a single flame in the garrison made any attempt to detain her, and so here we are. Roel must not be allowed to reach Castrum
I've never been able to say that right, have I? Meridianum. Meridian. I'll just keep saying it the way I've been saying it. Castrum mustard seed. My brain wants to only do one thing at a time, reading or speaking, but not both. Oh, that is fully 100% relatable. I used to be the same way. Still am in a lot of aspects, but you know how they say practice makes perfect? After you do it for long enough, you finally start to gain the ability. Oh wait, on the other side of the wall. There he is. Ooh, this is a duty instance. Gilbert, I want to take one of these mulets and just stab you right in the eye. Actually, I got 4 of these. I can put 2 of them in your eyeballs and 2 in another place where the sun don't shine. Anywho.
This wretch was Roel. He threw himself at us that his mistress might escape.
Oh, wrong button.
She didn't blink when we cut him down, not even when he started screaming. No loyalty even to her own, the god's damn harpy. Spit. With me, Scion, we almost have her.
I want to stab you so bad. Cut you down where you stand. Oh, okay. Just straight in. We're gonna change up the music here. Let's do some. Bam. Let's go. Let's do things. Tech thingy. Oh wait, kill the leader. That made a lot of sense, not now. Alright, you're dead. Oh my god, there's so many ads. Oh, and they just keep coming. Kill the tether thingy. Don't kill yourself. Goodbye. Delete it. Oh, no. I couldn't save that one guy. Oh no, not at this level. Lane, you need to die. She's literally a to die. There we go. I forgot how overwhelming that fight was. Jesus.
Bind her and do it tight.
Alright, kinky bastard. Bam. Good work, men. Alphino, you're gonna be so disappointed. I'm sorry.
She and her Imperial cronies pushed us close, but we were better.
Behold, a respected officer of the Immortal Flame. People looked up to you as one of the Order's founding members, one of its pillars. It saddens me to see you have fallen so low. What would you know of Lo, you spoiled little lordling who has never known any want? What? Alphina's like, huh? People such as you take wealth and birth for granted. You think it's your God's-given right to rule over others. You know not of our plight, the injustice that we low-bornish guardians must endure. To the noble lords and ladies, we are not people, but resources to be consumed. I did what I had to survive, stealing, killing, even whoring myself. It is no fault of mine, if fools imagine me a paragon when I joined the Flames.
To hear you tell it, one would think you the only person ever to have suffered. In case you have forgotten, Raban himself was born into poverty, as was I. We lived hand to mouth with little more than the shirts on our backs. Hunger was our constant companion. Yet never did we bemoan our lot in life, nor did we begrudge others their fortunes. We accepted the hand that we had been dealt and played it to the best of our ability. Life was a battle, aye, but no matter what fate threw at us, we took it on the chin and came back for more. Everything we have, we fought for.
How are we any different then?
'Tis true that we were both mercenaries of lowly birth, and 'tis true that we both had our fair share of struggles.
But whereas I sold my sword, you, Marshal, you sold your comrades.
If life has taught me one thing, it is that you never betray your own. I would sooner cut off my own arm than raise a hand against a friend.
Foreshadowing.
But enough talk. You will return to Ul'dah to face justice, and the people who trust you have dragged through the and the people whose trust you have dragged through the gutter.
Literally, how many times have you come across scenes where it's like knowing what you know now and watching it?
They keep telling us everything that's gonna happen in cryptic ways. I hate it, and I love it. Not so much as a hint of remorse. Sigh. 'Tis well that this sort of business is finally at an end. A friend's betrayal cuts deeper than steel. We must hope that we have chosen our own allies more wisely than Raban chose his. I'd be so disappointed. So disappointed.
I've heard. Truly bothersome business.
Another person that needs to burn in the frickin' 7 layers of pandemonium.
No, I do not foresee a problem on that front. The main concern is Raban. There is no telling what the brute might do. Have the Blades watch him in the flames day and night.
Well, it does have some.
You may leave the Sultana to me. I shall personally attend her grace.
I say that as if we haven't been fighting the Phoenix.
Sever one of the East Aldenard trade routes. That ought to keep Lolorito occupied for a while. None animo ulnamo. For my sake, pray be a good little sultana to the last.
Die!
You know where the last stand is located in Ishgard, and you gotta go out into the almost like plaza area just outside House Fortance, and you can look out just over the distance across the gorge and the canyon and everywhere beyond, almost as if you're just looking all the way into the distance to Gridania. I wish you could just set up little Teleji right there on the edge and punt him like the football he is.
Not where I was expecting that to go.
Captain Ilbert and I have a few questions for the Flame Marshal regarding the circumstances of her miraculous escape. When we have completed our interrogation, we shall take our findings directly to General Raban, and that shall be the end of it. Your work here is done, my friend. My thanks. But I do have one last task for you, of course. Return to the Rising Stones and apprise Minfilia of all that has happened. Pray return to the Waking Sand. I am aware that the antecedent held Royale in high regard. For better or worse, she will want to know how this tale ends. Stab him, Alphino, while you still have the chance. Throw a pear, pull out a sword out of your book like your sister, and stab him. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Oh no! Attack of the advertisements! But I don't drink beer. I mean, I do, but that requires an explanation that may not be quite up to terms of service on Twitch. So...
Welcome back, my friend. I have already received word from Alphino. To think that Flame Marshal Huayu was the Garlean agent. I know not what to say. Together with Robon, Eline lent us much-needed aid at the time of our Order's founding. She was particularly passionate about the need to tackle the primal threat.
Let me, change the music back since we're no longer in battle here.
When we discussed the subject, her eyes fairly shone with determination. Whatever else she may have been, I choose to believe that it was her true self with whom I spoke then. But now is not the time to dwell on such matters. I have an important announcement to make regarding our effort to defeat the Ascians. We shall begin as soon as everyone is assembled.
Yes, ma'am. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it. Right now. Don't even wait. Call them in. Scions assemble!
My thanks for coming, friends. Moonbreeder, the floor is yours.
I'm gonna cry.
By now, I'm sure you're all familiar with White Auracite, the miraculous material that'll allow us to capture Ascian souls. Back at Snowcloak, we verified its ability to absorb vast amounts of ether. Alas, it leaves something to be desired in the area of stability. The stone can only store ether for a short while before expelling its contents.
In addition to Auracite's inherent limitations, we must needs be wary of our enemy's strength. Our foe draweth upon an infinite wellspring of power. Even should we succeed in entrapping him, The stone will not long contain his wrath.
Meaning that, if we want to kill the swine, we'll have to be quick about it.
'Tis our belief that an Ascian soul may be permanently undone, if smitten by a sufficiently concentrated burst of pure ether.
Let's do it.
The only trouble is, we can't say for sure how concentrated the burst needs to be. Without knowing how much ether an Ascian soul is composed of, we're basically guessing.
Our sole clue lieth in thy struggle with La Habrea.
During that encounter, Hydaelyn bid you forge what she called a Blade of Light, a weapon which took the form of a luminous stream of energy. Based on your description, we believe the blade with which you vanquished your foe was composed of ether. Admittedly, your victory proved ephemeral, as La Habrea was able to use a crystal of darkness to flee into the space that lies between our world and the void. The fact remains, however, that Hydaelyn placed the means to destroy the Ascians in your hands. Be that as it may, it would be unwise to assume that she will do the same when we next encounter such a foe.
Quite so, my lady. We must needs find the means to forge our own blade of ether, one to equal that which Hydaelyn did benevolently bestow upon her champion.
That is all well and good, but it seems to me that producing such a blade will require a prodigious quantity of ether. Whence will it come, pray tell?
All of y'all.
Oh, what if we had two pieces of white orosite? One to trap the Ascian, and the other to store the ether for the blade.
Oh, nice try. But it's as I said, the stone won't hold ether for any length of time. We'd still need to collect the stuff there and then, sorry to say.
And therein lies the rub. Finding a way to create the blade whenever and wherever we choose.
It would seem more research is in order.
I'm going to linger a while, perform a few more tests on the orosite. And I could do with some help. Urianger, why don't you lend me a hand?
Just voluntold
Mine
him.
apologies, but I am required at the Waking Sands.
Liar.
Lady Minfilia hath given me sole charge of the premises. 'Twould be unseemly to leave them unattended.
Sole charge, you say? So you're basically alone there, then? Well, that settles it. I'll just have to come to you.
Problem solved. She's basically like, I ain't hearing 2 ways a Sunday about this. It's gonna happen and you're gonna like
While
it.
you were afield, word arrived from the Sharlayan motherland. You will recall that a survey party was dispatched to investigate the incident at the Isle of Val. What they discovered was troubling, to say the least. According to the report, the Isle has been erased from existence. 'Twas as if a hole had been torn in the very fabric of reality.
Aye, yet the mystery endeth not with the Isle's disappearance. It hath come to light that a number of scholars in various other locales were reported missing at a similar juncture.
What's more, they all had something in common with the head of the students of Baldessian. Every last one of them was researching a phenomenon called dimensional compression, or the rejoining as the ancient texts call it. I'll be damned if that's a coincidence.
All indications suggest Ascian involvement, but I sense that a force greater still is at work. The entity the Dark Beings call the One True God. We must pray that my dear friend Kryl regains consciousness soon. If she bore witness to the Isle of Val's final moments, she may be able to shed some light on this mystery.
Moving on.
Following the calamity, the forces of the 14th Imperial Legion entrenched themselves in strategic locations across Eorzea. So swiftly did they accomplish this, it was suspected that they had received help. To think that it came from Huayu, my right hand.
Wow, I don't even know that pronunciation he just said.
There is more. We have reason to believe that Huayu didn't deal exclusively with the 14th. She also answered to a higher authority in Garlemald.
Huayu? Is what it sounds like?
But this higher authority could not have been the Emperor. By consenting to the Media Project, Solus Zos Galvus showed himself to be more concerned about preventing the spread of primal influence than claiming Eorzea for the Empire. He would happily have seen the lot reduced to ash. We believe a number of high-ranking figures within the royal household were against the decision, but that they knew better than to oppose the Emperor openly. Of course, this didn't prevent them from making clandestine provisions, in which Huayu played a part.
Alas, these provisions did not prevent Dalamud from falling, and the ensuing chaos changed the face of the realm forever. Yet Eorzea survived. To all intents and purposes, the Meteor Project had failed, and the Empire was left to rue its lack of a decisive means to eliminate the Primals. Until, that is, it stumbled upon the Ultima weapon.
Dun dun dun!
Even before the accursed thing was dug up, it seemed to me the 14th had the might to overwhelm our weakened armies. Yet they chose to hide behind their walls. Why?
The Black Wolf was wary of making the denizens of Eorzea desperate, lest more primals emerge to bleed the land. The discovery of the Ultima weapon, however, emboldened him to resume his war of conquest in earnest.
But there was one in Garlemald who believed that Van Belsar's actions were premature. One who stood higher in the Imperial Army's chain of command. He ordered the Legatus to halt his advance, only to find that the Black Wolf had slipped its leash, and that the 14th now acted alone. In a bid to bring Van Belsar to heel, he used the agent he had planted in Ul'dah prior to the calamity to undermine the Legion's efforts.
A man who outranks Van Belsar, yet opposed the late Emperor's decision to annihilate Eorzea. This could only be the former High Legatus of the Garlean army, now known as Emperor Voris Zos Galvus. So he was Huayu's true master.
Another dun,
But one
dun,
of several
dun.
in actual fact. We've learned that even as Huayu served the Empire's interests, she sold Imperial secrets to a certain faction in Eorzea. In so doing, she helped to maintain the status quo, thus prolonging the conflict. Considering who stands to profit from war, it isn't hard to imagine who her other masters were.
Seven hells! You mean to say that she was a double agent?
Triple, if you consider her services to Van Belsar and the new Emperor as separate.
As neatly as these pieces seem to fit, one aspect of the puzzle remains unclear to me. By whose will was the Marshal feeding intelligence to the heretics? And try as I might, I fail to see how aiding their cause would profit either her Imperial or Monetarist masters. Could it be that another hand is at work here? If so, Huayu must be made to reveal whose it is.
Ilver, he's catching on to you.
Not only have I lost a trusted friend, now I must interrogate her as a stranger.
Not a pleasant task, I grant you, but a necessary one. Unless we weed out the ivy, root, stalk, and stem, it will simply grow back.
I know that full well. Those closest to Huayu have already been detained, and I will question them alongside her.
General, pray keep in mind that there may be unwitting abettors among them.
All will be treated fairly. On that you have my word. Those who are innocent have no cause to fear.
You have ever been a friend of truth, General. I hope the unpleasant task of weeding out falsehood will not detain you too long. Though it be for the sake of Eorzea, doubting one's comrades is poison to the soul. And with that, I take my leave.
Poison. Poison. This entire thing leading up to Heartbreak. I know!
All these years, I've been made to dance to their tune. How could you, Huayu? How could you side with them? Those cankers who take from this land and give naught in return, who use their power to disempower and grow fat while the people starve.
Be mad.
I know you can hear me, monitorous scum! Your crimes will not go unpunished! One day I will purge this land of your sickness! Before the eyes of the 12, I swear it!
Don't growl like that, Raban. It does things to me.
The Moogle and the Chocobo plushie on the bed. Okay, that makes me happy.
I shall have no further need of you this day. Your Grace. I fear that not even mine own chambers shall remain private for long.
Has the situation grown so grim?
Ever since he proposed the Cartiner Reclamation Bill, Teleji Adeleji has risen to greater prominence upon the backs of impoverished refugees. The Monitarists were ever united in their pursuit of profit, but the man's actions have torn a rift in their ranks. They snap at each other as rabid dogs. Yet now is not the time to be bickering among ourselves.
You know what I just realized? I completely forgot to put out the post that we were streaming. Oh, I think I just broke Twitter. Let's see, let's try a different one here. Streamer. Streamer problems a thing? Nope, streamer problems is not a thing. What about first world problems? Yep, there we go. Okay. Only like 2 hours late. Finally putting out the post for it. There we go. Okay. Now it's been done.
If this bickering is a threat to law and order, might you not have grounds to dissolve the Syndicate?
Would that the solution were so simple, Admiral. Alas, my moving to dissolve the Syndicate is certain to spark outrage among the influential merchant class, whom the Cabal represents. This would serve to exacerbate the current unrest, and peace would slip still further away. Be they rich or poor, natives or refugees, all who reside in Ul'dah have a right to pursue happiness. It is the duty of a ruler to protect this right. If I am to perform my duty, I must needs tread warily. It would not do to make enemies heedlessly.
relatable even.
Were Lord Lolorito here, he would doubtless say that I have my head in the clouds.
A ruler is required to take a wide view. Try as we might to cater to all needs, some will inevitably be overlooked. As such, there shall ever be citizens who feel aggrieved. It cannot be helped. But as you have informed us, the monetarists take no view but their own. They hunger for power while the masses starve. In the absence of a common cause, it seems beyond any one individual to make Uldar whole.
And the presence of a Garlean agent within the Immortal Flames only makes matters worse. Even accounting for Uldar's historic reliance upon mercenaries, such a grievous breach of security is unprecedented. I fear this business will provide the monetarists with a rod to beat Rauban.
Yep. More than a
Eorzea
rod.
can ill afford for the Immortal Flames to be dampened now. Ere long, the Garleans will turn their ravenous gaze toward our lands once more. If we are to resist their might, our nations must stand together. Yet for this to happen, our nations must be whole. Cannot be done to improve the situation in Uldar.
The true wealth of Uldar lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her citizens. Alas, the citizens shall never know these things, so long as their lives are ruled by the ambitions of the few. The monetarists claim to represent the best interests of the people, but in sooth they desire only to manipulate them for their own selfish ends. For the government to serve the people, it must be formed of the people. For Uldar to move forward, it is not only the Syndicate that must be dissolved.
Oh, I remember this part.
Nay, you jest.
My friends, it was for no other reason than to make known to you mine intent that I requested your presence here. When I make my declaration to the people, chaos shall inevitably ensue. As the last monarch in the line of Ul, I make unto you this request. Help Rauban to preserve order and protect the people. Forsake them, and you forsake yourselves. For a strong Eorzea will ever have need of a strong Uldar.
She's
Your
talking about
Grace,
stepping down.
Are you certain of this?
There is no other way. When the time is right, the nation shall become a true republic. Both royalists and monetarists shall cease to be. Uldar will no longer belong to kings or queens or merchant princes, but to her people. Rauban, forgive me for casting aside all that you have toiled for in my name. Beyond this gesture, I am powerless to help my subjects.
Poor thing. She is so distraught and I hate it. Ugh, that was a long series of cutscenes. Minfelia, fix it. I am most eager to address the Ascian threat. However, we dare not neglect our other pressing concerns. We both know full well that Saint Shiva will not be the last primal we face, and our relationship with Ishgard is still tenuous at best. Oop, I need to turn auto advance off. To think that the resolution of the primal threat was once the sole priority of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, some days I wonder if it was wise for us to take on so many other responsibilities. Anak Udea. Lest you forget, Antecedent, the Scions need not shoulder the burden alone. Were not the Crystal Graves established for this very reason? True, we are presented with a multitude of problems, however, we have all the resources we need to address them in turn. Nakara, in particular, if ever a steadying hand, who I trust will continue to support the Braves. To what do we owe the pleasure? Have there been further developments regarding the situation in Ul'dah? As expected, the Immortal Flames has been struggling to cope with the revelation that one of the highest-ranking officers was a Garlean agent. Suffice it to say, Adeleji and his monitoress ilk have wasted no time in attempting to turn the situation to their advantage. Coupled with ongoing unrest, the Flames are finding themselves hard-pressed. Plainly, General Raban needs our help, and I will direct the Crystal Braves to offer what support they can. If I am to stay abreast of the latest developments and issue effective orders, however, I cannot afford to waste time traveling back and forth. And so, for the foreseeable future, I think it would be best if I were to remain in Ul'dah, unless you have an objection, of course. None whatsoever. We have matters here well in hand. Moonbreeda's research is proceeding as planned. So she tells me, though I am not familiar with the details. Urianger is poring over his tomes at the Waking Sands, and the others are contributing in their own ways. Alas, the key problem, how to form an ethereal blade at will, remains unsolved. Nevertheless, it is only a matter of time. Nakara, while we focus on that task, mayhap you could assist Alphinaud and his Braves with theirs? It would do so much to restore faith in the Immortal Flames if the Warrior of Light was seen working on their behalf. Never forget that your esteemed status allows you to act in ways that those more tightly bound to organizations and nations cannot. As ever, I implore you to do so. Not that your response was ever in doubt, but I humbly thank you once more for aiding our cause. Now then, there are preparations I must attend to before my departure, such as receiving Rial's latest report. He has proven to be quite skilled at gathering information that others wish to keep secret, hence why I placed him under my direct command and ordered him to investigate the Ul'dah riots. When you're finished here, join me outside. Depending on what he has to say, I may soon have a favor to ask. If there are any developments on our front, I shall inform you at once in the usual fashion. Pray return to the Rising Stones. Just tell me over the link, Sheldon Minfelia. Stop making me teleport back and forth. Oops, that did not do what I wanted it to. Try again. Rio! Talk to me, my good one-eyed fellow. Pleasure as always, Nakara. You'll be escorting the commander to Ul'dah, I take it? Actually, I had another task in mind for him. If you would be so kind to repeat your report for his benefit. Right then. Me and mine have been making inquiries into the source of the weapons that found them ways into refugee hands a way back. So it happens we caught wind of something promising, a rather large purchase of sharp and pointy things by a black marketeer holed up near Highbridge. I doubt that this man would have secured such a quantity of weapons if he did not already have clients waiting, clients that, for whatever reason, would prefer for this transaction to remain secret. Brings to mind that merchant what caught an arrow while talking to Nakara. Took an arrow to the knee. Generous fellow he was, doling out swords and spears to the downtrodden and disgruntled. Which isn't to say that these clients have the same mischief in mind, but if you want to be sure, might be prudent to intervene before they collect their goods, savvy? Seizing the weapons before they fall into the wrong hands would be for the best. However, if we strike at the appointed hour, we might capture the black marketeer as well as his clients. What say you, Nakara? Then it is settled. Rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at Highbridge and intervene when the exchange takes place. Now then, if you would excuse me, I must leave for Ul'dah. I expect good tidings. Doesn't even wave. Rude. Anyways, off to Eastern Thanalan. I'm gonna end up drinking that entire thing of tea before this stream is even over with. Oh, look, I see somebody. Shmova. See, he's like right here on this bridge, this high bridge. I could just chuck him right over the rails and nobody would miss him.
My scouts have been keeping a close eye on the Black Marketeer, and it would seem that his guests have arrived. It would also seem that he has hired more than a few men to stand guard, common thugs of no consequence, but they nevertheless pose a threat. Even so, I feel compelled to apologize. This is far beneath a man of your standing, and Commander Levier needn't have dispatched you hither. But powerful men ever have need of loyal, able-bodied friends. Having found one in you, 'tis only natural that he would come to rely upon you without hesitation.
Just chuck him right over the edge. It wouldn't take much.
Now then, we should make for the burning wall without delay and secure those weapons. The first unit will ensure that the clients do not escape. With me, Nakura.
Just yeet! And he's gone. And nobody would have to die, or no summonings would have to take place, and we wouldn't have to worry about Sloppy all the frickin' time. Yes, I am very, very strongly, emotionally angry with this character. Oh, I messed up. Hang on, maybe I can backtrack around this side. There he is.
I spy the one man, but there are sure to be others. I have a plan. While you approach the sentry and create a distraction, my men and I will slip past and catch the Black Marketeer unawares. Once you've disposed of the thugs, wait for us outside the tunnel entrance. Any questions? Then let us be off, my good friend.
Ooh, is this the part that I think it is? Ooh, I don't like it already. Oh, do we get to fight? Are we about to fight? Oh, there's more. More yet. Yeah, that did not last long.
I don't understand. What's this all about? Rah!
Somebody died. Or better yet, where's she at? Join the beta. I'll check that out later.
He needs some milk!
Girl! I got stuck.
As you can see, this is a fine mess. When I tried to restrain him, he drew a hidden blade and lashed out. But before I could disarm him, one of my subordinates panicked, and this is the result. How foolish of me to underestimate the bastard, and to bring an inexperienced recruit. Commander Levier will be most disappointed. This was staged, this was a setup. Damn it all, a golden opportunity wasted. As for the clients, though we know not how, they slip past our perimeter. At present, the first is currently tracking a party of Dusk White Sellsword, and suspects may be with them. Would that we could have enlisted the aid of the immortal flames of the brass blades. Alas, we're here to aid them. They're in no position to aid us. Well, at the very least, we have secured the weapons, yet even that accomplishment is lacking, for the information we received indicated a massive shipment, and this is anything but.
Bastard. bastard. Let me shoot you instead. Just stab you right now. All 4 of these at the same time.
I'll join the first in their hunt for the Duskwhite sellsword. If the gods are good, we will catch them before they escape into the Black Shroud. In the meantime, I ask that you deliver these weapons to Ul'dah, my steed, and trust them to Third Zu Hase. He will take care of the rest.
Yes. Making him do his dirty work. Evil son of a... Welcome to the One-Winged Healer, where Naka's gonna be angry the entire time at Ilbert. Let's go to this one. Are we gonna get to the heartbreak tonight? Is it gonna happen this evening on this stream? I'm not sure if my heart can handle. Wait, is this upstairs or downstairs? Downstairs. Ah, the Warrior of Light, ever reliable friend to the Crystal Braves. You have my deepest thanks for your assistance in Coerthas. Now what brings you here to us this day? That sounded like I just dropped somebody. A gift of weapons from a certain black marketeer, courtesy of Captain Ilbert, you say? Understood. Once we've cataloged the contents, I'll have them delivered to the Hall of Flames. This cannot be everything, can it? Riel stated with confidence that there would be a far greater quantity of weapons. A blatant falsehood. Clearly Riel is unfamiliar with the ways of Ul'dah merchants, who ever strive to present themselves as greater than they are. We should be thankful that his information was not completely erroneous, and that we managed to achieve anything of worth at all. It's still something worth celebrating, isn't it, Lieutenant? Besides, we've got more important things to worry about, like fighting those Garleans up north. There'll be no fighting if I have anything to say about it. Our orders are to stand watch, not to seek glory in battle. If you have no further need of us, then I shall take my unit to the cerulean processing plant. Time for the Fourth to earn their keep, eh? Fight well, Alien, for the freedom of all. Alice in Wonderland. Excellent work as always, my friend. Rest assured that the Immortal Flames will hear of your contribution. Until we meet again. Please, can I kill your captain? Nakara, a word if you please, Shizzy. Not here. Look at me at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. No need for whistling this time. Don't you worry. I remember having to whistle for him before. Oh, did I just try to summon a mount in the middle of Ul'dah? I sure as hell just did. We're gonna pretend I didn't do that. Riel, speak with me, my friend. Thanks for indulging me request. Few places better than a market for privacy, I find. All the hustle and bustle of commerce means most conversations go unnoticed. I'll get to the point, though. At the Burning Wall, when you and the captain interrupted the exchange, what happened? Tell me everything. Leave no detail out. Blah 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 mumble mumble, blah 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 mumble mumble. That's not quite how the first told it. Those Duskwights they were chasing, latest word is that we lost the trail. But you never saw them yourself. Not before the fighting started, and not after? Something ain't right. I don't trust what it is, but I can feel it in me bones. I'm not daft enough to be misled by some merchant's drunken boast. Our information was reliable, goddammit. I know he purchased those weapons. As if I've never deciphered a moneylender's books, or had to follow a transaction back to its source, I'm leaving.
Did plenty of that back when the Crystal Braves was getting started. Believe me, the commander wanted assurances that we weren't taking Gil from the wrong sort of benefactors. Of course, these days the money flows like water, and the first and third get the shiniest new toys. Sorry, I'm trying to take some insulin here. Forgive me, friend. I've a lot on me mind these days, and I appreciate you lending an ear. Right then, let's get back to it. Banana phone. Nakara, can you hear me? This is Tataru. This is my first time using a link shell. I don't know how this thing works, but I'm gonna talk to you anyways. Your presence is urgently requested at the Rising Stones. Please come and see me as soon as you are able. Or we could just teleport there. I was about to like go find an Aethernet shard and teleport outside the city and then run or take a mount all the way back to Mordona. Yeah, let's not do that. Tataru, you precious, precious little bean of a Lalafell. Come here, you. Thank you for coming so quickly, Nakara. We've a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you. A most, determined lady, by all indications. Is it her? Is it Iceheart? Our guest is with the antecedent and the solar at present. Let's not keep them waiting any longer, shall we? Or is it Yugiri? I don't remember. It's probably Iceheart. Oh, wait. Nope, it's Lucia. I was completely wrong on both fronts.
We have
Oh,
a guest
that's
from
right.
Ishgard who wishes to speak with you.
We still have a lot of other, like, Heaven's Word story to get into before we get on the good side of Iceheart. I kind of forgot.
I believe the two of you have met.
We have. I had hoped to speak with Commander Leveilleur as well, but I cannot afford to wait.
Let me switch back to the more lo-fi music here.
The Lord Commander sent me hither to request your aid in a matter of grave import.
You see now why I had Tataru summon you.
Good point, honey.
Now that we're all assembled, perhaps you would be good enough to elaborate on the nature of the matter which brought you to us.
The Observatorium's astrologians have sounded the alarm. Last night, the Dragonstar burned with an intensity not seen in 15 summers. Not since the Dravanians engaged the Empire in the Battle of Silvertear Skies.
The northern sky doth burn full bright upon the Wormlord's call. The red behemoth beckoneth, and flame consumeth all.
Dun dun dun!
The old Curthan rhyme, aye. The brightening of the Dragonstar is said to accompany the roar of a great worm. The astrologians believe that it was Midgard Soma himself who cried out on this occasion.
After an absence of centuries, the King of Kings did return to lead his kind against the might of Garlemald, only to fall in his duel with the Agrius, proud flagship of the Garlean fleet. Devoid of life, his corpse remaineth entwined about the Magitech monstrosity even unto this day.
Ariange has the right of it. Whatever this alteration in the Dragonstar portends, the Great Worm has shown no sign of life. Tataru, have the Domans reported aught out of the ordinary?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if Midgard's Orma had roared, wouldn't we have heard it here in Revenant's Toll?
Roar is but a figure of speech. Dravanians can communicate in ways beyond our ken. It is for this very reason that we are forced to look for signs in the heavens. We cannot say with any confidence that a great worm roared at all, much less that it was Midgard Sorma. Only by directly examining the Keeper of the Lake can we be certain. However, it will take too long to gain the Holy See's approval to dispatch the Temple Knights. Therefore, Sir Emric would entrust this task to you. Do you accept? We knew you would not disappoint us. Now, if you would excuse me, I must return and assist the Lord Commander. We have precious little time to prepare.
To prepare for what, pray tell?
When a great worm roars, his brethren cannot choose but answer. We prepare for battle.
Forgive me if I say aught which you already know, but I would ensure that you understand the nature of your destination. As Urianger stated, what we now call the Keeper of the Lake is the wreckage of the Agrius, former flagship of the Imperial fleet and the corpse of the worm responsible for its destruction. 15 years ago, as the next step in his campaign to subjugate Eorzea, Gaius van Belsar attempted to seize control of Mordona. So massive was his force that all thought his victory was a foregone conclusion. But an unlikely ally came to Eorzea's aid that day, Midgardsormr, legendary guardian of Silvertear Falls, burst forth from beneath the waters of the lake and led a host of dragons against the Garlean airships overhead. In what would later become known as the Battle of Silvertear Skies, the Great Worm felled countless airships before engaging the Agrius. In the ensuing struggle, the flagship's Cerulean engines failed, and it tumbled into the lake below. Yet this victory came at a great cost, for the explosion which followed claimed the life of the Great Worm as well. The same explosion transformed Silvertear Falls into the desolate wasteland it is today, draining the lake of its waters and crystallizing aether from malms around. Yet a remnant of the lake remains, and at its center a constant reminder of that fateful day long ago. God, I can't read. In accordance with Sir Amric's wishes, our Doman allies have been standing watch over the Keeper of the Lake. It would be wise to speak with them before investigating the wreckage yourself. Purposely steps on a landmine. Sir! Be careful, my friend. We know not what the dangers await you within. Now then, let us not neglect our own task. There is much to be done and precious little time to do it. Speak with the Doman Watch in Mordona. I was about to open my map and teleport while failing to remember it is right outside the doors. Spar, that's actually still a command. Just saying. I do New Game Plus again once I finish Endwalker. Just, oh. Seeing everything come full circle is hitting me so freaking hard, and I hate it and love it all at the same time. Like, you catch all the foreshadowing, all the references, and you have so much hate for certain characters that have yet to reveal their hand. So, are your loins oh wait, Autobot said no. Prepared for more POTD? Yes. And no, I don't know. We will find out come Monday. You're in luck, sir. I was about to send word to Revenant Stoll about the Garleans. Of late, I've seen small airships, likely from Casham Century, come and go from the Keeper of the Lake. Though I cannot say for certain at this distance, I believe that they may be salvaging something from within the wreckage. The Casham supply lines have been cut for some time, and I'd wager they're desperately in need of some spare parts and other equipment. So it's true then? The Ishgardians honestly fear that the worm might rise again? Well, from here that seems rather unlikely, but if it's assurances they want, you've no choice but to inspect the corpse in its entirety. Easier said than done, given the creature which inhabits the wreckage, and the aforementioned Garleans who won't take kindly to your presence. They're sure to fire upon an airship, so I advise a more stealthy approach. Take this boat and a few of your comrades to the base of the Agrias, then climb to the top, and that's the only viable approach, I would say. Enter the Keeper of the Lake. Alright, should I, like, actually queue in and try to do this at level, or should I just unsync and obliterate everything in this dungeon? After all the Angie energy I've had from Ilberd and other certain characters in the story so far, I kind of want to unsync it and just murder things. Let's do it on a class that's more readily available to just pew pew and kill stuff on the spot. And I think everything is good. Yep, let's go Machinus. Use my shotgun, baby. Let's go! Oh, wait, music. We gotta change music. Time to go pew pew, baby. Bam! Shot everything. Oh wait, that's right, there's a gate here, I knew that. Now we can move forward. I forgot he does that. It kind of helped actually, got me closer to the boss, so... Not really any complaints there. Damn. Yeah. Moving on. Just let me get a critical, what is it called? Drill off, and I'm going to murder something. Shotgun! Bam! Everything dies. That was so satisfying. Boom! Damn! Oh god, I love that shit. And somebody should have dropped me. Keep it moving. Alright, we are going to reassemble and drill. One shot kill. Gotta love it. Shotgun everything. Bang. Draw everything in. Shotgun. Bang. Okay, Mr. Lizard, I see you. Surviving my shotgun. We ain't gonna survive this, Oh shoot, okay, that ricochet did not work as well as I was hoping. This chainsaw's gonna burn some stuff, though. Y'all ready for this? We're gonna see if we can one-shot drill the boss, the final boss, Mr. Daddy Dragon Midgardsormr himself. Nope, it only takes him to the first transition. Well, that sucks. He was at 0.1%. Not even 5 minutes in that dungeon. And we were done.
By her gifts hast thou earned a moment's reprieve.
He lives!
Speak, mortal, and I shall listen. Guided by a star. My people have heard the song. Ishgard shall burn.
But why?
Sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. We do not forget. We do not forgive.
But the sons have not committed any transgressions.
7 children did I sire. One now singeth of retribution. I rise to join in the chorus. Thou art powerless to silence us, mortal. Yet thou shalt not live to labor in vain. Thy reprieve is at an end.
Says who?
Trickery is thy shield. This frail, ignoble creature is not gifted, but chosen. Hearken to me,
Hydaelyn. I remember, and I consent.
Because consent is sexy.
Fear not, mortal. I shall not harm thee.
My crystals. What have you done to my crystals? Excuse you, sir. Excuse you. I did not give you permission to do that. Hello?
Mayhap thou thinkest me an oath breaker. Thou art mistaken. If thou comest to harm, it shall be by another's hand, not mine. I did but strip thee of thy mistress's feeble blessing.
Is that not the same as making me vulnerable and thus indirectly making you responsible for my death?
Much by her grace, but no more. The covenant binds me to thee. I shall watch, listen, and wait.
For what?
Fight and struggle, if it be thy will. Man hath ever coveted that which lieth beyond his grasp.
And
I drink of her body, and thence doth mine own find new life. When it hath grown whole, the loyal and penitent shall rejoice. The dragon song heraldeth a beginning and an end.
I did not give you permission to do whatever it is you just did to me. I don't know you. That's my purse. I was beginning to fear the worst. Were those explosions that I saw? But you shouldn't waste your time talking with me. Alpha No left a message stating that you were to return to the Rising Stones at once. Pray return to the Waking Sand. Yeah, we're gonna teleport because I am that lazy. I'm going to take more insulin because I just drank a lot of that tea really fast. Wait. I wanted to click on that character. Alan Parson. Okay. I had this weird feeling that he was going to have a weird or interesting name. Don't ask me why. I had a hunch. Followed by Munchkin Kitty. You should be a Lalafell with ears. Chloe is a Munchkin Kitty. Praise the 12 that you are hell and whole. I came as soon as Minfilia informed me of Sir Amric's request. You have completed your investigation of the Keeper of the Lake, I take it? Then I would hear your report. You converse with Midgardsormr? I swear were anyone else to make such a claim, I would regard it with considerable skepticism. Are we to understand that the Worm Lord did not perish, and has in sooth lain dormant these past 15 years? Less a resurrection and more a rejuvenation for he who dwelleth in... Sir, I was not done reading that. Somebody has to take a frickin' old English course just to read what you're saying. My people have heard the song, Ishgard shall burn. Clearly, an attack is imminent. We must share this information with Sir Amric immediately. However, we dare not divulge your conversation with Midgardsormr in its entirety. To even acknowledge that you heard the voice of a Dravanian is a grave but necessary risk. Lest we forget, men have been executed as heretics for declaring as much. For your own protection and for the sake of our tenuous relations with Ishgard, the truth cannot leave this room. As for how we shall present our revelation to Sir Amric's emissary, you may leave that to me. Pray remain here for now. You could say that I overheard it from some heretics that were at the Keeper of the Lake. Is there something you're not telling us, Nakata? You seem different, somehow. 'Tis almost as if you're missing something. Something important. He's at me, Minfilia! 12 for Finn! Midgardsormr stripped you of your blessing of light? Are you alright? How do you feel? I feel fine. I see. It is a relief to hear that you are otherwise unharmed. It beggars belief that any being could possess the power to deprive you of her blessing. Midgardsormr made mention of a covenant, did he not? One of the ancient myths regarding Silvertear Falls states that when the waters came into existence, so too did the Great Worm. Ulthik and Nymea, Brother Time and Sister Fate, decreed that Midgardsormr ever watch over the source, from which all water and magic was said to flow. I wonder, what if this was the covenant of which he spoke, and 'twas not the gods with whom he treated, but Hydaelyn herself? Well, if he is watching over you as he claimed, mayhap you'll have an opportunity to ask. Let us keep this matter to ourselves. I do not wish to burden our friends needlessly. Why is her, like, butt window glitching out? Speak of the devil. Art thou a pawn or master of thy fate? What hast thou wrought by thine own hands, mortal? Excuse me. You're just gonna pop in, say that, and then pop out with no time to hear my, like, response? Rude. Has no air of social grace about him.
My friend, I can scarce believe it. You confronted the Worm Lord and lived to tell the tale.
You bet your bottom dollar I did. Oh, I guess I can turn auto advance back on. Alphino, what did you say?
I give thanks to Halone for your preservation. It is our sole cause for gladness. Your encounter with the Keeper of the Lake served to confirm our fears. A great worm has roared, and it makes little difference if it was one of the two in Eorzea or any other. The Dravanians are coming.
I am told that Ishgard has magical defenses against Dravanian attack, though I am not privy to their exact nature. Will they be enough to repel a massive force?
Ishgard has weathered countless assaults over centuries. This will be no different. And now that you have confirmed the threat, none can ignore the Lord Commander's calls for the wards to be strengthened. I dare not presume to speak for him, but I expect the Lord Commander would sing your praises. I must away, but we shall meet again soon.
This mother decided to invite me over for dinner. Beat that, Lucia.
Countless assaults weathered, and this will be no different? Why am I not convinced?
Because it will be an assault to end all other assaults. And the dragons are really gonna show off their DICK in this pissing contest. The Ishgardians have warred with the Dravanians for centuries, nay, nearly 1,000 years. In all that time, not once have their enemies breached their defenses and entered the city proper. Yet regardless of how strong these magical wards may be, I nevertheless fear that the Ishgardians are underestimating the gravity of the situation. Though it was not Midgardsamur who roared, a call to arms by one of the first brood cannot be ignored. Until such time as they choose to request our aid, however, we can do naught but observe the situation at a distance, and pray that our fears are unfounded. For now. Ere I forget, I believe Moonbrita has requested a gathering of the Scions. I assume that there has been some progress concerning our efforts to combat the Ascians. Pray inform her that our business with the Ishgardians has concluded, for at least for the moment. I shall be along once I've completed my communications with the Crystal Braves. Moonbrita! All done with your talk of dragons? Wonderful, because Ascians are next on the menu. Let's head into the solar set, shall we? It's just, I picture Moonbrita as like this California, just extremely confident, solid woman, and I love it. Just, exudes just so much self-worth.
Now that everything's calmed down a bit, relatively speaking I mean, I thought it might be a good time to share our progress on the weapon. I believe we're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Well, don't keep us all in suspense.
Just in case anyone's forgotten, let's start by reviewing what we already know. So, an Ascian is an immortal because its soul doesn't return to the ethereal realm when its host is defeated. Instead, it flees to the place that lies between our world and the void. Therefore, the first step to permanently defeating an Ascian is preventing its soul from making this journey. And if you recall, when we last gathered here, I had verified that White Auracite has adequate capacity to entrap the beings, albeit only briefly.
Which left the small matter of their extermination.
Aye. To unmake an Ascian soul, one must needs smite it with a concentrated burst, or blade, of purest ether. However, we wanted for both the data and the means to forge such a weapon.
Short of experimenting on an actual Ascian, you see, there's no way to gauge how much ether its soul is made of. As such, we don't know what etheric density our blade needs to have in order for it to work.
So we'll just have to make the densest blade we can and hope for the best. Though that would require a lot of ether. Hang on a minute! Why didn't we think of this before? White aurosite can hold an absolute heap of ether, can't it?
Please tell me you're joking. God's sakes, Ida. I feel as though I'm reliving the same scene over and over with you. How many times do you need to be told that white aurosite cannot store ether for long periods? Being intangible matter, ether is given to dispersion. Only in its crystallized form is it a stable source of energy. I will test you later on this, so see to it you do not forget.
Right, yes. It's all coming back to me.
So our hopes rest on good old crystals again, do they? While they are certainly reliable, they leave something to be desired in the area of portability.
Indeed. I am reminded of the quantity of corrupted crystals required to thwart Leviathan, and the extraordinary lengths to which the Lamentsons went to transport them. What if it should prove that a similar quantity was needed to destroy an Ascian soul? Or still more?
I do not envy the poor sod who has to lug all of that around, on the off chance that an Ascian appears.
That's the very problem we set out to solve. And I reckon we've found the answer. If it isn't practical to lug around the ether we need, we'll just have to draw upon another source. And the only viable source is the land.
If you mean to tap the Great River of Ether, know that it will entail considerable risk. Meddling with the currents may well induce a surge like to the one which despoiled Mordona.
Give me a bit more credit, will you? Why would we need to tap the river when there are veritable reservoirs jutting out all over the land? I speak of corrupted crystals. It might be that their aspect is out of balance, but a crystal's a crystal. It contains ether, and we can help ourselves to it.
While corrupted crystals are indeed abundant, there is no guarantee that they will be in close proximity at a crucial moment.
But what if we don't need them to be? What if we could tap their power from afar? A malm away, say? If we could do that, we'd have ready access to ether aplenty in almost every corner of Eorzea.
But how, Moonbreeder? Please tell us more.
I've yet to put my theories to the proof, but I've got a good feeling about this. If no one has any objections, I'd like to see where this avenue leads.
If you think it worth your while, you have my blessing. But tell us, what are your theories? I, for one, am most eager to understand the process, however vaguely.
I thought you might say that, but no one wants to listen to boring old theories all day, do they? I know I don't. So with your permission, I'd like to try something a bit more hands-on. I've already built an etheric siphon especially for this purpose, and I've been meaning to try it out.
Oh lord, she's got a toy.
Thing is, the profusion of corrupted crystals in Mordona makes it something of a high-risk testing ground. If anything goes awry with the siphon, it would be better if it didn't happen within spitting distance of quite so much ether.
And she's got a worried look on her face.
Ideally, I need an isolated specimen. Does anyone know where I can find one?
May I suggest northern Thanalan? There you will find corrupted crystals of middling size, standing a reasonable distance apart. Ideal for your needs, I should have thought. Oh, and if you do elect to visit the place, I should be much obliged if you would assist me in another matter while you are in the area.
Has something happened?
Movement has been observed at Castrum Meridianum.
Iridianum.
During Operation Archon, the Alliance dealt the stronghold a heavy blow. Its facilities were extensively damaged, and its garrison reduced to a fraction of its former strength. Not long after our forces withdrew, however, their ranks were replenished by reinforcements from Kostrom's Sentry. They now seek to rebuild, and to this end they have their sights set upon the ceruleum processing plant. Having lost the Empire's support, the 14th Legion lacks the resources to sustain itself. To them, this is a bid for survival, and they will doubtless fight like desperate men. Though I have dispatched the Crystal Braves, I fear their strength alone may not suffice to stay the Imperial assault. I would request the Scion's aid in the defensive effort.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to inveigle us into fighting your battle with the promise of shiny crystals.
I mean...
Well then, consider me inveigled. I won't lie, the crystals you speak of sound perfect, so the Garleans have to go. Besides, we can't afford to beat about the bush. There's no telling when the Arsians will next appear.
Thine eagerness to hurl thyself into the jaws of danger cometh as little surprise. Exercise due caution, I prithee.
Urianger.
Though you have become a Crystal Brave, you are yet a Scion, Alphino. We could hardly refuse you. Pray, join the Crystal Braves and lend them your support. Thancred and Papalymo shall accompany you. Ida and Y'shtola, in the meantime I would have you assist Moonbreeder. Scout out the crystal clusters, that the testing may commence as soon as the Garlean threat has been eliminated.
If it please you, I shall continue mine own experiments on white orosite.
Thank you, Urianger. Everyone, pray see to your preparations and depart as soon as you are able. Go well, and be safe.
Why am I staying behind? She's gonna want to talk to me some more, ain't she? Or not. Bye. I didn't want to talk to you anyways, Boo Gwenda. Peace out. Can we go stab Gilbert yet? It would seem that events have once more conspired to rob us of rest and recuperation. Though I would wish it otherwise, I must ask that you head straight away to the processing plant. The 4th have already deployed to the area and await the arrival of the Scions. Wilfred will brief you on the developing situation. Meanwhile, I must rendezvous with Captain Ilford at our headquarters in Ul'dah. I shall take command of the forces there with a lighter heart, knowing that you go to support the front lines. Hori Boulder! Your duties to... I was reading that, excuse you. We too must say our farewells to the Rising Stones for a time. Philhamine travels to Ul'dah, and we shall serve as her escorts. At my daughter's behest, I go to contact certain old acquaintances in the Gilded City. We are beset on all sides by civil unrest and imperial machinations, threatened by primals and troubled by dragons. We need all the allies we can muster. Many of my friends hold positions of power, you see, and it is my hope that they can be convinced to aid the Scion's cause. If past events have taught us anything, then we know that Eorzea must present a united front, or we shall fall. How extraordinary my little Asila is involved in such far-reaching affairs. I am proud that I might now stand by her side, not only as a mother, but also as a colleague. A colleague with influential connections? But I fear that Ul'dah has become a place of danger, even for one so familiar with her streets. Bah! Woe betide the black god that so much as glares in your direction, milady. I love Hori so much. She does the little Makote giggle. I cannot believe I just did that. I shall be well protected, it seems. Shall we be on our way then? You look like a Urianger wannabe, sir. Just in poor man's clothing. God, we are getting so close to where the shit hits the fan. I am not ready for this. Honestly, I don't know if we're gonna... Is it inside the building or is it behind? I think it's behind the building. Let's go back outside. Yeah, there we go. Commander Levier sent word that you be coming. A veteran of your talents is most welcome. Not that I don't think we can handle the situation, mind you. I've learned a trick or two since the disaster with the Amalja. But returning to the task at hand, the Flames reconnaissance scouts have reported Imperial soldiers assembling at Raban's push. Such a force is likely interested in only one thing, getting their hands on the resources found here at the processing plant. The Garleans could begin marching on us at any time. Pray speak with the Lieutenant Idleston, that we might coordinate our counter-strategy. In the meantime, I will inform the others that you have arrived. No doubt it will be welcome tidings. Captain Maho, my soldiers yet tell tales of your deeds during Operation Archon. Would that we could sit a while and reminisce about old times, but I fear more pressing matters require our attention. The civilian Droughtsmen, you see, have come across several highly suspicious crates within the boundaries of the processing plant. I had my sappers take a close look and our worst fears were confirmed. These boxes contain powerful explosive devices. Devices of Imperial design, no less. By my order, the Flames stationed here are conducting a thorough sweep of the compound as we speak. Though it troubles me that we were unable to apprehend the Imperial spy behind this, I have faith that our men will be able to neutralize the threat for now. In the meantime, our scouts bring troubling news on the latest movements of the Imperial army. I would once again ask for your aid. Turning over to you now, Nakura Maho. I don't know why I felt like I was reading that like a news broadcaster. We've been keeping a close eye on the Garlean garrison, and 'twould seem the Imperials have finally begun to mobilize. According to the reconnaissance report that just came in, the squads seen leaving the cache room are too few in number to effectively take and hold our position. They will likely mount a swift assault and focus on the acquisition of resources. I have, of course, also shared this report with the Crystal Braves. They've decided to take to the field to meet this assault head-on. I have appraised your fellow Scions of the situation, and am heartened to know that they will be joining the effort. Ooh, I hear sparkles. Pray report to Lieutenant Elaine, and that may be Elaine, and lend your much welcome strength to the counter-offensive. Oh, I think we're up here. Or not. Glad to have you with us, Nakura. As I'm sure Lieutenant Idleston has explained, the Garleans have deployed a small force from Castra Meridiana. Their main column assembles to the north near Dalaman's Talons, but we've also spied several squads attempting to conceal themselves on the approach to the west. This bastard. They wish you to rush forth and commit to battle with the main column, leaving the detached force free to raid the plant and pillage supplies. Not much of a strategy, but these are desperate men. Captain Ilberd! Greetings, Scion. I understand the commander bids you and your fellows come lend a hand to the Braves. With such mighty heroes at its disposal, the force should have little trouble contending with aught the Garleans might throw at them.
But even you cannot be everywhere at once. The Third was getting restless and holed up in Ul'dah, so I marched them out here to fill any holes on the planet's defenses and add their numbers to your counterattack. The reinforcements are welcome. We've enough soldiers now to divide our own forces and safely engage the enemy far beyond the walls. Aye, 'twould be best to avoid staging a battle anywhere near this much ceruleum. Let's take this fight to the Garleans. A wise course indeed. I shudder to think of the consequences should any of the storage tanks be exposed to fire. If there are no objections, the Scions shall join the 4th and give battle to this main column. You're with the 3rd then, Warrior of Light. Your job will be to intercept these squads hiding out in the west and prevent them from reaching the processing plant. When you're ready to proceed, report to Lieutenant Yuyuhase. His scouts should have a rough idea of where the Imperials have concealed themselves by now. My brain struggled to keep up with that many different, like, voice styles for a second. I was like, who's talking? Who's talking? Okay, now that I know who's talking, what are they saying? A pleasure to be fighting at your side once more, Scion. Our operations invariably succeed when you're around, and victories are wont to pave the road to a greater coin. Now this detached force we've sent to eliminate has split into smaller squads, the better to conceal themselves within the terrain hereabouts, I imagine. We'll need to split ourselves up as well to cover more ground and make sure we root out all those would-be raiders. And seeing as you're an army unto yourself, an army of one, I've assigned you to your own areas to scour clean of enemy soldiers. Aye, this will be a simple search and destroy. We'll rendezvous back here when the task is done. Happy hunting, Scion! Happy Halloween! I get the feeling that these other people that are running around here are doing the same quest line that I'm doing at the moment. The blue suits make me angry. Right! Ugh. Everything they represent, or end up getting forced to represent, just angry. Oh my. How did I miss that dude? Eat my shotgun. Bam! More shotgun action. Oh, it feels so good. I had to spend 2 shotgun shells, but it's been clear. You seem grim, Scion. I take that to mean that between us, more than a few Garleans won't be making it back to the castrum. These Imperials, though, they certainly made us earn our pay. I would be a happy man if I never had to tussle with another one of those Magitech horrors. It is time we bid this war-torn land farewell. I will contact the 4th and let Lieutenant Elaine know that the west is now clear. I would appreciate it if you would do the same when you report to Lieutenant Idleston. I tried to hit my mount button before the conversation was done. Like, I'm ready. Let's go. I'm like anxious to get into Heaven's Ward and just avoid the entire fallout that's coming up soon. Captain Maho, what news of the Garleans? Their raiding parties are no more than excellent. The Almagina engineers will be most relieved to hear that the plant is no longer in immediate danger. Thank you again for your assistance. More by Radio Show Idleston. You must be anxious for word of your fellows. Lieutenant Elaine has reported a sound victory over the main column and informs me that the Scions have already turned their attention to other duties. All but one, that is, the Roegadyn lady with the large axe. 'Twould appear she has chosen to remain at the site of the battle. I know not what task keeps her from returning to civilization, but Northern Thanalan is no place to wander alone, even for a capable sort such as her. I would certainly feel better about things if you could check in on her before you continue on your way. Tune in next time on Dragon Ball Z. Don't ask.
hold on. I won't be a second.
She's all absorbed in her work. Go on with your bad self, Moonbreeder. Where's
The
other
beast seemed
ladies?
peckish, so I gave it a taste of my axe.
Alright, ma'am.
I know. As Urianger never tires of reminding me. An axe ill becometh the hand of a scholar. What can I say? I like axes. To hear my mother tell it, I came into this world holding one.
Alright.
And it's not as if it stopped me picking up a quill, is it? I often think of the man who introduced me to the joys of learning. He's one of the reasons I decided to come to Eorzea.
Moonbreeder, don't you make me cry.
And my excruciatingly stiff childhood friend. Considering how unalike we are, it's a wonder we ever got on. The world's a strange old place, isn't it?
Don't make me cry.
Aye, that ought to do it. So far, so good. At these concentrations, it shouldn't matter too much if something goes awry. Just enough ether to make it interesting. Did you see that? The way the crystal glowed? The siphon works, I'm happy to say. With a few refinements, it should satisfy our appetite for ether, which just leaves the small matter of forging our blade.
Meaning what?
I'm not sure how to go about it just yet, but I swear to find a way. I'll put a blade in your hands if it's the last thing I do.
He senses me. A useful talent.
Who dat?
Hanassian, are they onto us?
By your brand, I see you are an Archon of Sharlayan, keeper of knowledge, seeker of truth, meddler.
Sir?
I don't know what the hell's you're saying, but I don't much like your tone.
Your instincts serve you well. But come, be not unsettled on my account. That lovely brow was not made for frowns. But I waste my breath.
Creeper.
Let me direct my words to one who understands them. We meet at last, warrior of light. I am Nabriales.
Nabriales.
And you have long been a thorn in my side. I suffered the overweening presence of La Habrea that men might host the power of gods, only for you to undo my hard work.
Oh, bugger.
Bye.
Do settle down. You must concede that I acted in self-defense. But what's this? I do not sense the blessing of light. Oh, dear. Could it be that frail Hydaelyn has forgotten her champion? This I did not foresee.
But I got
Shorn
something
of
in
light as
exchange.
you are no longer a threat. And better yet, the seal is broken. Now is the time to claim the staff. With it in my grasp, I shall rise above them all and take my place at Lord Zodiac's right hand.
What did that bastard want with us? Nabriales, he calls himself. With charm like that, I'll bet he has maidens falling at his feet. Unconscious.
Another reference?
But this staff... You say just talking about it had the bastard grinning like a brat on his name day. Must be quite a staff. Oh, gods. He means Tupsimati. Master Louisoix's staff! Minfilia's in danger! We have to get back to the Rising Stones.
And this is where she earned the nickname Princess Peach. Pray return to the Rising Stones. You're here! Oh, turn auto advance off. Master Louisoix's staff is kept in the solar, isn't it? Quickly now!
You two!
She's like, hell!
So, you were able to divine my intent. What now, warrior of light? Ah, but that name is no longer fitting. You have become decidedly dull, and quite incapable of barring my entry.
What do you mean?
You truly do not know? Then I suppose it is only right that I enlighten you. The blessing of light kept you and your fellow meddlers safe. It was that which prevented my kind from entering your domain. My kind, I say, though it had no power over the likes of Elidibus and La Habrea. Being of this world, they could come and go as they please, while I could only look on. But I need look no longer. Now that the seal is gone, I mean to act. Unlike the others, I am not given to waiting. I shall take that staff and bring about the next rejoining.
No, you won't.
Rejoining? Then it was your doing. The Isle of Val, the scholars, all of it.
You will not harm her!
Moonbreeder, get him!
Moonbreeder!
Why must you insist on forcing my hand? Did you learn nothing from our last meeting? Ah, but I forget. My words fall upon deaf ears.
The staff is but a broken relic, a memorial to the departed. What possible use could you have for it?
What use? You mean to say that all this time you kept the key, never knowing what it was you possessed? The staff Tupsimati, or rather the stone tablet it bears, is host to a great power. Together with the horn, it can be used to draw vast quantities of ether from its bearer's surroundings. How else do you think Louisoix was able to invoke the power of the 12 without making them an offering of crystals? Summoning requires not only prayer, but a profusion of ether. Even a child knows that.
If I did not know before, you may be certain I do now. But above all, I know that we cannot allow the staff to fall into your hands. I will die before I let you take it.
Insufferable woman. I would happily end your miserable life here and now. Alas, Elidibus would never let me hear the end of it. Very well. If you will not part with the stuff, I will take you too.
And this is why she's Princess Peach. She gets kidnapped. Whee! Somebody please help Membrita.
After them! Quickly! Before the rift closes!
Dive, Naka, dive! Head first. Like a swan dive. Woo! So I'm gonna try to unsync the chrysalis. I don't know if this is gonna work. We shall see what happens. Alright, let's see how much damage I can do. Oh, not bad. Oh my god, they're coming too fast! Ah, I can't stop them all! Oh yeah, I'm gonna screw this. Oh, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. Oh, this is really bad. This is really, really bad. Oh, that actually didn't hurt at all. Okay. I guess I didn't. Take two. I'm hoping it's gonna be like the first time. It's not gonna really Okay, the real question was whether or not I was gonna beat the rift.
Yeah, because I don't think those meteors would have been kind to you. Like,
Oh no, I would have had to unload everything on the rift and just pray to God I could get out before the meteors even came down.
You're safe. Thank the 12.
You may have bested me this day, but what of the next? What of all the days to come? Remember, light no longer holds sway here. I may return whensoever I wish, again and again and again. Eventually, You will falter, and the staff will be mine. Until next time, scions.
She's like, I don't think so, bitch.
There will be no next time. This is the end.
What trickery is this? No. No! Cannot! No!
Use Tube Samati to gather ether. Quickly, before he breaks free.
Pick it up. Push the button. I don't know.
Concentrate. Call to mind the time you struck down La Habrea with the Blade of Light.
It's a lightsaber.
Why won't it work? Is it because we lack the blessing of light?
Damn it. So much ether. And it still isn't enough.
Fools! No mortal prison can contain me! I shall make you pay for your insolence! Push harder.
Please, Mother Heidelin, hearken to our plea. Lend us your divine light. Why can you not hear us? Do our words no longer reach you?
If only we had a bit more ether.
Moonbreeder, what are you doing?
Master Louisoix, I understand now the choice you made. In death, there is life. Farewell, Urianger. You damned old coot.
Moonbreeder, no! You mustn't!
What? No! It cannot end! I am eternal! I am immortal!
Not anymore, you ain't.
Moonbreeder. She's gone.
I forgot that she was a thaumaturge.
You did it, my friend. The Ascian is dead. This device is a legacy of Moonbreeder's toils and sacrifice. I shall hold on to it for safekeeping.
Minfilia, are you all right?
I am.
Oh, we were surveying northern Thanalan when we received the distress call. We returned as swiftly as we were able.
It seems you have everything in hand, however.
What happened here? Where is Moonbreeder?
She gave her life to temper the Blade of Light. I have no words.
Rather than await the inevitable, she took her fate into her own hands.
Does Urianger know?
And there he is.
My friend, there is something I must tell you.
I heard all, my lady. The moon sinketh, taking her leave of the heavens, yet her passing heraldeth the coming of a new day. Moonbreeder hath fulfilled her destiny, hath she not? Long ago, far across the seas in the Sharlayan motherland, Moonbreeder and I did study under the sage tutelage of Master Louisoix. Full oft did he impress upon us that knowledge existeth to serve the greater good. This sentiment, however, was contrary to the nation's policy of neutrality, which censured intercedence in the affairs of foreign lands. In spite of vehement opposition, he founded the Circle of Knowing, and journeyed hither to the heart of Eorzea. Through his noble sacrifice was the realm spared its doom. Yet this great soul, whom all should rightly have honored, was branded a pariah in his own land. His peers did accuse him of forsaking his duty as a man of learning, and of meddling in the course of history. When he left Sharlayan behind, Master Louisoix gave no word to signal his intent to Moonbreeder. Close as they were, as master and disciple, she was deeply wounded by the sudden exclusion from his confidence. Above all, however, she was confused. Try as she might, she could ill comprehend her master's motive. The slanders that were heaped upon him after his passing served only to inflame the turmoil within her. For years upon end, she knew not what to believe. Torn as she was twixt the man whom she revered and the man who forsook her and his duty both.
The Louisoix I knew would never forsake his duty, much less one of his own.
This I know full well, my lady. 'Twas not for want of love that Master Louisoix hid his intent. He but desired that Moonbreeder discover her own path, free of the shadow of his influence. Long did I contemplate revealing the truth to her, and long did I hold my peace. After all, was it not Master Louisoix's wish that she come to the truth unaided? I told myself it was, and resolved to let her suffer. Knowingly did I deny my friend the comfort she craved. And now she hath gone to her rest, with doubt still in her heart. Speakest thou in earnest? Did Moonbreeder truly come to understand Master Louisoix's will before the end? The realization hath set her free. She may now find the peace which hath for so long eluded her. Oh, Moonbreeder, my dearest, how I shall miss thee.
Don't do it, Urianger. I've already cried. Don't make me cry again.
Moonbreeder gave her life that we might possess the means to defeat the Ascians. Her sacrifice must not be in vain. Let us continue her work on the Blade of Ether and see it to completion.
My lady, I would mourn Moonbreeder in mine own way. I beg your permission to return to the Waking Sands.
Of course, my friend. Take all the time you require. We shall be here should you have need of us.
Never ready for that. God dang it. A moment of silence. Never have I seen Urianger so utterly defeated. No one should be made to suffer such grief. We shall gather in the Charlayan Manor to celebrate Moonbreeder's life and mourn her passing. I just smudged the hell out of my glasses. As Moonbreeder was a native to Charlayan, I feel it is only fitting that we gather before the Mark of the Scholar. Are you familiar with the stone? 'Tis a monument found at Ratherfrost, and is sacred to Thaliak, guardian deity of the City of Learning. There shall we pray for our dear friend's soul, and bid her a peaceful return to the light of the Mother Crystal. I could just run outside. Oh, y'all, my chest hurts. Never will I ever be prepared to experience that heartache. And then they take a salted blade and dig it in your chest even deeper later on, but that's neither here nor there. We are not to that point yet. I'm okay. I'm not crying. Nope. No idea what you're talking about. Oh, buddy.
Forgive me, Moonbreeder. Had I been quicker or wiser... But I was not, and you paid the price. But you would not suffer us to wallow in our sorrow, would you? You would tell us to pick ourselves up and get on with it. And so we shall. We shall defend this realm and her people to the last.
Life for death. A fair exchange.
Shut the hell up before I slap you, you little gnat.
Other bargains will be struck.
Naka, why didn't you just smack him right on the nose when you had the chance? He was right there. Just backhand that dragon. I want to teleport because I don't feel like flying all the way back there. It's not fair, y'all. It's not fair. Though we have said our farewells, the pall of sadness has diminished but little. Forgive me, as antecedent, 'tis my job to be the pillar of strength for all others to lean upon. Yet I also believe the grief we feel now is precious in its own way, and not to be lightly swept aside. Do you not agree, Nakara? That's a soapbox you're not ready for me to get on, Minfilia. Tis as if a dagger has been thrust into my breast. I'm going to abstain from making a comment about that. But 'tis a pain we must learn to bear if we are to forge ahead with our duty. The battles we have fought have taken the lives of so many. Louisoix, Moonbreeder, our fellows at the Waking Sands. Their spirit and dedication to our cause, however, will never be lost as long as we rise to fight once more. I hardly need remind you of this, of course. 'Tis for my own benefit that I repeat these words, a reaffirmation of my own chosen path. If I do not rebuild the foundation of my resolve, I am like to collapse in a fit of weeping. My apologies again, Nakara. There was no other to whom I could display such weakness. You are my pillar of strength, and I fear I shall have need of your steadfast presence in the days to come. A victory won, a comrade lost. To honor the fallen, the living forge ever on, towards the light of a new day. And with that being said, I think that is a great place to end the stream for today. Yeah. Woo. And we still haven't got to the part where the shit really hits the fan in Ul'dah and everything falls to pieces and gets real cray-cray at that moment in time. Just, woo, buddy. Okay. still collecting myself right now. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Am I good?
This is bad.
I'm not good. Okay. I'm going to end it for the night and probably go cry in my pillow for a while. But thank y'all for coming. I don't know if we're gonna have everybody together tomorrow night to do our usual Wednesday and Thursday raid stream. If not, we'll do some New Game Plus. If we don't feel like doing New Game Plus, I've got some Deep Rock Galactic that we could play. We can do some Portal 2. I might even be able to get Near Reincarnation possibly working. I'm not gonna make any promises there. We'll see. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go lick my wounds, take care of this emotional damage. Whew. Y'all have a good night.